This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. Yeah. Hello. I'm Ira Yellen. I'm founder and president of Aging in Place Central Toolkit. It's been a 3 to 4 year journey, and my team and I hope this webinar will provide answers to how an online program can help you effectively market your agency and understand how you can reach private payers. There's two parts to the presentation. One are facts and figures to understand how we look at this, and it might even be helpful for your planning. We don't mind sharing that. And then we'll do a demonstration. I guess you can look at this if you want as a sales thing, but I tend to look at this as an educational presentation and look feedback and questions. So we're gonna go forward right now. Of course, the first thing we want to deal with is that every family member will need caregiving help for a loved one or themselves. This is the basis that if a family's doing it or you as an agency's doing it, it will happen sometime in their lifetime. Most families don't have any idea where to start, when to go outside, where to get support. I call the stepchild of our healthcare system. It's that because there's so little money in it, the big guys don't play very well in this area. But in a sense, it what drives up health costs and makes disruption in families. And being a family caregiver is an overwhelming challenge. So these are things that I'm sure you're fully familiar with, and that you probably run into on a regular basis. Well, let me tell you a little bit about me. Now I'll just move forward quickly on that. I have personally experienced within my family and my wife's family the joys and difficulties of being a family caregiver firsthand. I spent over a decade researching, vetting, and managing in-home aides, skilled nursing, and hospice care for my mother, who died a few years ago in her 90s. And it was living that, but also simultaneously, I've been working in a home healthcare area for over 10 years on top of that. And so I became knowledgeable on both sides, understanding what home care industry deals with, and also on the family side, what we try to deal with. Of course, my mother was in Florida, and I call that the Banana Republic of Healthcare, because dealing down there was very, very difficult in terms of finding an agency who hasn't been cited in Florida. And it's a very different environment than up here in New England. I find New England, you find the ethics level and the support systems much more professional than you do in Florida. But anyway, that was a big learning experience. It was extremely helpful, and what to look for in terms of what families had to deal with. In fact, my sister has had a very stressful time who lived down there, so I had to go down there for the last 3 months of my mother's life, almost living down there, in order to deal with it. Because family is family, and I had to deal with 3 different agencies. So I have a perspective from both sides, and then I recognize baby boomers are stuck in this because people, their mother and father and other relatives are just living longer, and therefore they don't necessarily know the options. So you can see here, this is kind of my background. I'm not going to read this all. I've been actually very involved with it, and I've done many, many presentations. So I'm going to move on from here. And what we wanted to do and share with you is that, we developed what you call a persona. And these personas are really important to understand of who are the major caregiver personas. It's broken into 4 areas. And this was research that we had done by Quinnipiac University here in Connecticut. I hired some researchers down there to go in and do what we call a deep dive and get a kind of a general overview of what the major areas are. I'm sure you can identify with this. There's 4 areas. And as we know, it's usually the woman in the family, usually from 40 to 45 to 70. And might be a full-time mom working, take care of the kids, and also dealing maybe with an aging parent, and keeping up with that. The second one, so that's 65% of caregivers. The next one is a son, and they will do the best they can. They'll make up around 10%. The next one are baby boomers, and seeing what their parents went through, they want to be more prepared. So they're looking at home care agencies even right now, even though they might not need them. And the last one is people who are well into their 70s, 80s, and 90s, a spouse taking care of a spouse. And So that kind of breaks it down. I don't know if you've seen this, but this comes from research and statistics. And so, again, you're welcome to use this as your guiding model, but it became ours. Now, this is the full-time mom. And as you can see here, we went and did extensive research on the number one person who purchases caregiving services, who they are, how they break down, their personality types, their likes and values, dislikes, behaviors, and their technology expertise. This is where we believe we can help agencies understand, this kind of persona who's actually managing tends to manage the education and healthcare system within a family. And this one had to deal with her mom who was 80 years old, fell, and had to go in hospital and noticing mom was forgetting things and how to end up managing this thing. And she's more than comfortable using technology and searching online. This is where the growing market is. Now, I know with most home care agencies, it's tends to be the networks you have, or if you're dealing with Medicare, Medicaid, you already work within that network. But we're focusing on private pay here, and private pay is the area that is the growth area. So who's this audience? It's again aging baby boomers, 56 to 72, who are retired or plan to retire and might not need care or need it right now. That's the biggest segment in the marketplace right now. Same in Connecticut or Massachusetts, where our immediate focus is right now. There's family caregiver who needs immediate help. That's where you tend to come in, where a loved one came out of the hospital. They might have 20 days of Medicare if they have Medicare and they're old enough for some therapy they need. And then the family's on the 21st day. What do I do? And that was what I had to deal with my mother in Florida when she broke her femur bone and then broke the rest of her bones, and she got C. diff. And then they wouldn't cover it anymore, and she wanted to come home, and then I had to deal with palliative care. So you get to see it, and you're saying, who do you turn to? Even I, who knew so much about it, still had to go through what I call the landmines. And then there's the caregiving planning for a loved one who wants options of product, services, and support. Does anyone say anything? Okay, I've just been noise on the speaker. So understanding the difference, we did 500 interviews, 217, 218, to these families. And this is you're going to see 4 bullets here of, overwhelmingly, what they asked. Where to start or go, who to trust and work with, what I need to know to make a plan, and how do I manage my caregiving responsibilities. And became the basis of what we wanted to offer on our site. So given that we knew most of these women who were baby boomers were online, if we can deal with these 4 bullets and develop some sort of relationship, which, as you know, online is not easy, it became this a way of then steering, or at least having the option of agencies understanding that we can help them pre-qualify leads. Mm-hmm. And so the other thing I wanted to do then is saying, okay, if we know that already, let's deal with the 2 states I'm working with right now. In Massachusetts, there's over 600,000 plus family caregiving situations that go on every year. It stays pretty constant. Of this, 7.5% in the eastern half of Massachusetts, that's around 140,000, have over $1 million in net worth. That's discretionary at any time during the year. Up to 20% need home care support. And in Connecticut, it's 350,000, and it's 7.3%, around 95,000. Again, the same thing in net worth, and around 20%. And so this gives an opportunity, if you're looking to develop a robust private pay plan, that this is the group we are reaching. And then we go a step further that, AARP obviously, has been pretty active here. And they do a lot of research also. And, what we want to do is where they're getting their information for their healthcare and family caregiving needs. And then we can see Google and search engine, 31% after the normal places of family and friends, a doctor, or hospital and clinic. And they might recommend whatever, but they don't really get substantively involved. And that was what we saw as a big weakness in the system, that a discharge manager or social worker will provide information, but not necessarily when you're leaving a hospital or they need ongoing support. They are not in charge unless it has to affect the hospital's readmission. Then we broke down, this is from Pew, they're a very reputable research organization, the size of the audience in terms, are they buying something online? So we wanted to demonstrate as an agency, they are buying things online if you give them the right information and they can talk to a qualified person. This has been the results of people on our site up to date who have filled out our survey. We broke it into 4 areas. And it was caregiving for a family member in theirs or a loved one's home. That's 44%. And it's probably your sweet spot. We then had planning from baby boomers. Usually they wanted to know, how should I plan? I'm going to remodel my home. I need a financial advisor, attorney, products that I might need to have. And so that became another option if you have relationships with these kind of support folks. And then caregiving at a distance is what I had to deal with. And then a person who's single trying to deal with it themselves, which again, I think is a target market because they either have no family support and trying to figure it out for themselves. Now I'm going to break down into, actually how we look at this. So that's why we call it a toolkit. It's a portal. We kind of think of ourselves as the Angie's List of caregiving. And so we take 4 different areas. And this is really important for you to understand. We collect data. The data is very important for us to customize planning on our site that directs people to specific needs. We have a referral system where we have Amazon products, remodelers, financial, legal advisors. These get into when people fill out a survey, they do a self-assessment. We find out areas they want. We have also people online who will talk to them. The other area, of course, which you are, is the service providers. And it broke into 2 major areas. One is home care agencies, which we saw is around 85%, and the other are senior communities. Those are the retirement kind of soup to nuts operations, CCRC communities. And then we have sponsors, and we're working with HR departments. We're doing a project right now with a large hospital down here for the 2,500 employees who need and looking for caregiving, long-term insurance. And then as this all goes together, we broke it into 3 areas. One is you have the caregivers. They're looking for partners in the community. And of course, nothing like a home care agency that falls into this. So what is it we provide? Here's the only sales sheet I'm going to give you. What is it you're going to be getting if you sign up? It's another way to educate consumers about the value using your home care agency. We're a dedicated third-party referral source network, and we track everything. We're reliable to reach pre-qualified prospects. We know that's important for home care agents because they get a lot of nuisance calls. So basically what we're doing is we're kind of pre-screening and saying, if you're private pay and you're looking for this and you're looking for an agency in this particular town that can service you, then please, you'll see how this all works. And then we amplify your online presence, we call findability, with links back to your website. And we do invest very heavily in Google, Facebook advertising, SEO, and all kinds of things that work in social media. I have a dedicated team of 6 people here. This is what they do every day. And we know agencies cannot do that. And it's also effective use of some of your marketing dollars. So that's what we offer you. And so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to switch over to, just bear with me for a second here. We're going to go over to the website right now. And so let me just open this up. I'm going to make this a full screen. I'm going to leave it because I'm going to have to go between. So what we're having here now, this is the actual site. I don't know if you visited or not. We broke it. There's 6 bullets, and we had to do it this way because there's the individual families. And what they do is I will just, open this up right here. They will need immediate help. That's the number one thing we usually get. And then they fill out a survey. Fill out the short questionnaire. This comes back to us, and they tell us what they want. And we call them or email them or text them and saying, okay, we understand you're looking for a home care agency, and then we will direct them what to do. Because sometimes they just won't do it on our site. We understand that. I'm going to take it back. So then we have planning, and you saw that in our survey results, aging in place. So this is all from research. This is what families are looking for. If they need help right now, they know will they need help maybe in a month or two. There's some major operation or situation where their mobility could be an issue, Alzheimer's, dementia, and they have to do some planning. And this is for baby boomers who are looking to plan. Now under here, what we have is like finding your agency. Okay. And so what we're going to do, I can do list your agency first, but let's do find an agency. So we got one in Connecticut and we got Connecticut, Massachusetts. Let's just do Connecticut first. So we submit in here. All right, give me your town. Who's in Connecticut?
Advocate of New Britain.
New Britain. So they put in the town, and these are the agencies that are in there. This right now we only one agency who's paying us, and right now this is the basics what they get. And I'll talk to you about the various programs. Oops, sorry about that. We'll come back to this guy. And so this is what comes up. What we want to do is get a minimum of 3 per county or town. And so
what about Waterbury?
I will put Waterbury in. Hi, Isaac.
Yes, thanks for the Waterbury shout out.
So right now it's these 4. So that's for the whole county.
Right.
I mean, if
So there's
Waterbury,
only one,
the whole county will show up.
in New Britain?
Excuse me?
There's only one agency you're dealing with right now in New Britain that's paying?
Yeah, these are agencies that are paying. These are either clients that we have served that are part of our, the part of the deals that they're being listed, or they are ones that are covering specifically Waterbury. Okay. And so what happens here is that they can, this case here, they can put in testimonials, always there. So those are minimum things. The ones at the top, like this one here, they have paid for a 2-year subscription, so they get more. And they're the ones who sign up for the longest term, for just a 2-year subscription, they always get to the top of the list. The ones who do 3 or 6 months, they'll be listed, but they'll be listed, because the only way we can sort this is the people are on there the longest, the ones who are, obviously paying more money, they get to be listed first. We're just trying to be fair to everybody, and the ones who are investing more, obviously, it's the way business works. Okay.
Now, what if you have multiple locations? Does that matter, or?
Well, it doesn't matter because you remember, this is this is a family looking in Waterbury. Mm-hmm. So let's put another town in there. Let's put Hartford. Let's put, let's see, let's do Bridgeport.
Okay.
There's only 2 agencies. So these are ones that, these agencies have listed, this is a town we cover.
Okay.
And so, it's Fairfield County. So there's 2 ways to do it, but we break it down by town or city.
Okay.
But if it was a whole county, in other words, any town within the county of Bridgeport, they would also be listed. So you're getting a regional as much as a specific town. And then you have the option of clicking the call, email, or visit the website. So this is a lead-in. It's saying we're pre-telling them, saying we've been through these agencies, we've already vetted them, and we're saying they're gonna we're gonna let you know that they're okay to do it. Now it behooves the agency when they get a lead from us to follow up. Be quite honest, 50% of them don't follow up, and it's absolutely baffling to us why they don't do it. So.
Right.
In order to do this, we are tracking this. So we already know that home care connectors we're already collecting that data. So at the end of 3 months, we will send a report saying you've gotten 15, 20 leads, or there were 15, 20 connections that either called you, went to the email, or visited your website. Because we ran into this before when we did this before. Agents said, well, I don't know. Well, as you know, people are not going to remember our website. They just don't remember website addresses. So the only thing we do for you folks is make it very clear that we are tracking and you will get a report. It's the fair way to do it. We're just kind of bending over backwards to make this as easy as possible. No other site does this. Most other sites that are kind of, they're yellow pages. They just list your agency and a phone number. This year, if you buy a 2-year subscription, you can put up videos, you put up testimonials, you can go in and change your copy. We're giving a lot of flexibility to an agency, given the space and time to do it. If you want to go further than that, then we have to talk to you about it. Does anyone from
How do you determine which agencies to give the referral to? Is it like a round robin, or first come first serve, or again by depending on who pays for what level?
It depends on. I'll show you now. It depends on the subscription.
Okay.
So let me go and do that. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go into subscription. All right. So I will use me, okay? Because if I sign you guys up, then you're going to have to give me your credit card. And we're not going to do that right now. So basically what it is, I'm going to show you, even though this might look a little tedious, I'm saying owner, and my age is aging in place. And so my email would be, in this case here, I'll just put my Gmail account, and then it's and we're in Glastonbury.
Oh, you're in
Basic
Glastonbury.
up here. So what we're doing here, so I submit this. And now what you're doing is you're signing up for one of the plans. So we do have a 3-month plan. We do have a 6-month, and that's okay. You will just get automatically billed. We know from experience that 12 or 24 months are the most effective, because the more you're up there, the more people are going to see you over a period of time. And so what we're doing right now, just for going to the end of February, we're discounting it. So it ends up, if you go to the 24 months, it's 15, average is 15 a month, or either 12 months, 20 a month. And then you get photos and video, testimonial, results placement. You get photo and video, and it can be a feature, you become a featured listing. So this is how it breaks out. And so you'll get the agency profile listing here and a contact, but on these here, because to be quite honest, it costs us more to manage this. If you're putting up videos and photographs, we want to make sure they're always working, they're connected properly, so we're always testing them out. And so what you do, so I'll sign up. Let's say right now I'm going to sign up for this here. Now, you cannot use this code because this is not costing me anything, okay? So if you do this one, I'm going to, I do have people who are able to deal with this. See, the total due will be $360, and I'm saving this for renewal. And you'll be notified 15 days before, and you could cancel. So now I submit this, okay? It wants a card number. Oh boy. Anyway, it's if you don't put a card number in, it's not going to work. 1 second, I got to get my card number. You know what, guys? I can't give you a card number because it's being recorded. And if I go any further, it'll just be up there for everybody to see.
I was just thinking.
And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just, you type it in and it gets submitted. And at that point, you will say you are now signed up for doing this. You will get an email from us giving you instructions what we need. And so now what I'm going to do is going to go back to the website. Actually, I'm going to go back to the website here, and I'll show you what it looks like. So this is Best of Care. They're a 24-month, they're a client of ours also. So we have, in some cases, you're seeing agencies listed who have dual things. They've retained our marketing services, and I'll just talk briefly about it. And by doing that, they're spending some money. They get a listing for 2 years. And so on this one here, you're seeing everything. They put, in this case, they put photos up and testimonials. These can change. They can replace these with videos. And, so that, that makes it easier to do. And then, and again, we're just repeating here what you just saw before. And so you will then get from us an email saying, please submit. For the time being, for the next 2 months, we're going to post it up for you so you don't have to do this. The people who submit by the end of February will manage this. So you give us some copy. We might shorten it and edit. And then this becomes live, and here's the address and all that you submit us of 3 photos or 3 videos or a combination thereof. Give us some testimonials. And this is what we tested this again among many of the family caregivers. They said, this is fine. This gives us enough to do a request and get out. Anything more than this, they're not going to read. Or they can go to your website. In fact, sometimes you get back complaints saying, we didn't understand their website, so could you contact them for us? So we do get calls back saying, can you call the agency? And we will do that. So now you're seeing how this all works here. Now on the other side, let me go back. We have also customized marketing services. Now this is on top of subscribing. If you are looking for better ways, to do your advertising dollars and marketing, and not sure, how to go about doing it, we do that. I wasn't planning on this to show you an agency that we already have, but I can do that later on for anyone who wants that. Excuse me. And then we will walk them through our services. We have done dozens of home care agencies in Massachusetts, mostly some in Connecticut. So the site provides resources, a toolkit, and so it's very, very easy to follow, because this menu is always static. These are products we also offer, and they are on Amazon. We have a toolkit, the resources, which are on our homepage. Let me show you, give you a quick tour of the homepage. We did look for free resources here. So Massachusetts and Connecticut, if someone cannot afford private pay, this is what the states can offer and provide guidance. So we talk about, if you're looking for Medicaid or Medicare help, this is a big area of growth right now we're dealing with, which is remodeling. We do hook up agencies with remodelers if it fits, because we have the remodelers, at least here in Connecticut right now. Sometimes they go hand in hand where there's particularly mobility issues. So someone's got to come in and you can work an arrangement with them. So what we're doing, this is this Angie's List approach, that we're integrating what a family needs and where you can generate additional revenue. So if you get referrals, in other words, if an attorney refers, you refer to an attorney, all that is negotiable in terms of, getting fees for service. That's where the growth is, and that's exactly what we do. We match things up, and in terms of doing it, because we know the strain on the hourly rates and the stress and strain that agencies are trying to generate more money, particularly in a private pay area. And what we do is we have this new model that kind of integrates it a lot better. And deals with also providing home care safety and security and so forth. Now we back this up. We have a thing called a forum. And this is very popular too. We find a lot of family caregivers go here. And you can post something up. You can submit it. We'll review it. It's new to caregiving, caregiving advice, distance caregiving, planning, remodeling and renovation, dementia, Alzheimer's, kind of medical conditions, an end of life, grief and loss. We're putting a new one called employer support. And so right now you see we have views coming in, and a lot of it is caregiving advice. In fact, this is, so if we go under the category here, there's a person called Carolyn Rosenblatt. She's out in California. She's listed on Forbes. So she submits a lot of stuff, financial abuse. You take care of your aging parents, but who will take care of you? These are all case studies coming from people who are telling about their experience or what they've been through. And so the site becomes a community. That's why we call it a community forum. So I'm trying to get agencies to understand, to break out of their bubble a little bit more, and that there's this universe out there that starts with a family caregiver. You just have to be able to reach them in a certain way that's going to help find them. Anyway, I'm going to end up pretty soon because it's almost a little past 9. And so we're going to go and view this again under as the slideshow. Let me just go forward here. Sorry about that.
So would you have like an average of leads that an agency would get?
Yeah, we get that question all the. It's the only thing we can guarantee is that we're getting a lot of people coming to the site, and right now we're just building up that audience because we just launched in December in Massachusetts and January here in Connecticut, and so we're getting on the average between 20 to 40 a day. Or looking at the site, and as we keep investing, because we're spending thousands of dollars in terms of Facebook advertising, Google, SEO, Twitter, anything we can do. I have a team that does this, and we will feature agencies who provide us legitimate guidance, who provide information about some unique situation, a target audience they're dealing with. We will form and do those things if it makes sense to our audience. And so we're going to be building up this audience. So what we're creating is kind of the ground floor that you folks can be in. And over the next, I would say over the next 6 months, we're literally going to get thousands and thousands of people. We just did a Facebook test and we had 28,000 and we had close to 600 come over to the site. And that was during the holidays. So we know how to do this. I've been doing this for years, and we understand agencies don't do this every day. They don't know how to do it. Our goal actually, and it sounds kind of selfish, we will be the #1 found site for family caregiving or for agencies, because that's what we do. And so therefore our listing then provides that avenue. It doesn't mean they won't find your website, but we know given the amount of investment we're doing that there's a better shot they'll see us before they see you. Because your sites tend not to be set up for this kind of aggressive marketing. And so that's how we go about doing it. Again, I hope this is helpful. This is going to, I'm saving this for you to review later, and we'll send a link for that. But if any of you are interested, I have Mike Sirica here, and we can sign you up. You can go and do it yourself. And very shortly, we're right now doing some troubleshooting on the sign-up side. There's a security thing every year that goes on. So my tech people, by tomorrow, you'll be able to do it yourself, or we can do it for you. Was there any questions? I know the #1 question is, can you guarantee me some people in business? The only way I'll do that if you hire me as your president.
Okay,
I can't guarantee you a client. I can guarantee you to knock on the door. And it's I know you folks, it's very competitive out there. You want to stand out. Let me give you some advice. Distinguish yourself. What differentiates what you're doing from other agencies? What's that niche market? And then how can you hook it up to private pay? That's what we do, because we understand that is, I have a marketing advertising agency for 35 years, and we do it every day for our clients. How you niche yourself, how you differentiate yourself, how you reach these people, and now how you invest over time, what makes a success. And the agencies we've had as clients who've done this, who've been with us for years, have tremendous success. I'm not necessarily trying to sell you that, hire us to do your website over, but you should take a really deep dive at all your external tool marketing. And if it's not working, it's for a good reason. And I'm sure you folks will work hard at what you do, and you want to service your clients. I have no doubt, and we like to help you do it because we're part of the team.
Okay.